I can't believe you give me such a hard time.
Because
You
wait,
are so horrible at this.
what's funny is no, listen. The problem here is
You're going to say something that I've been saying for the last. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm not going to say anything that you've been saying. The problem for me is I count 3 like this. This is how I use the number 3. But the first time I did it, you made fun of me. So now I got to think about it like 5, 4,
Well,
3.
the only reason I made
2,
fun of you is because
1.
that's what happened when you tried to do it.
Yeah.
You got a little hitch in your giddy up.
Yeah. If I go
Your
5,
3
4, 3, 2, I'm good. But
Your
you
3 look like a Charles Barkley drive.
Never that bad. It's not even possible.
Right into the trees.
I don't even think that's humanly possible to be that bad. What up, Kevin? Man, how was your Christmas, man?
Man, it's pretty good, man. How was yours? Merry Christmas, happy New Year, and
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whole 9 yards. Yo, did you guys cook? I know you guys cooked.
a little bit. We ordered hell of Portos.
Hella Porto.
Oh my goodness, dude. It was so annoying because she ordered it and I went to pick it up. And when the dude came in the car, I was like, no, that's probably not ours. Because it just looked like way too much. So we confirmed everything. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, let me open up the back of the car.
No, wait. No, obviously there's no Portos in Chicago or anything like that. So this is her first time really. Like when you guys moved to Cali, this is your wife's first time really dealing with Portos and having Portos and all of that. So she's a fan.
Had it since we moved here, so she already knew she was a fan. But this is our first Christmas in California in a long time.
Okay.
Because yeah, we spend most of them in Chicago. So
okay.
Yeah, we got the tree. That was fun.
A fresh tree?
Yeah.
Nice. Look at you.
The only real tree I've ever had, I think, was maybe like a little Charlie Brown tree. Just
Yeah.
But I also remember having a small fake tree. So yeah, like a whole thing, trying to make the kid. The kid was she's paying attention this year for the first time.
Okay. Yeah, we have a rule. Well, I'm not gonna say this is my wife's rule. This is just mine. So we get the kids real trees when they're 5. Outside of that, they do the fake tree. So at 5, you get the magical real tree for Christmas. Whole experience. Minute, though.
So was there a gap though?
So this should have been the year, but with COVID and all of the, we were like, all right, well, we got to push it to 6. But the rule that I tried to establish was that, listen, we're doing a fake tree every year. They can get one special one when they're 5, like this moment they can remember.
Just for the 1 year.
Yeah, for the 1 year.
Oh, and then, interesting. Okay.
Then every other year is fake. But this year we had to skip it due to COVID, et cetera. So,
yeah.
So yeah, she didn't get her real tree. She'll get it next year. Yep. Whether or not we're in quarantine, I'll go get her a real tree or whatever. But I'm like, also, my car will be paid off next year, so I won't care as much about putting that tree on top of my car and just dealing with all the pine scrapes and scratches in the paint.
Oh yeah, no, that's the even. Yeah. I mean, I don't care, but we got a tree it was a nice sized tree, but it fit in the back of the van. So
okay, that's right. You guys have the van.
I could have pretty much put that tree anywhere on the van, and I wouldn't care though. If anything, it would make the van look better.
I sort of care, sort of don't. I've been parking outside and whatever. That was also the opening question. Like, did you guys cook or whatever? So you guys ordered Portos.
Portos. We, I grilled yesterday. That was fun too. Kristen's like, so yeah, it's day after Christmas and we're grilling, outside. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Chicago.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. She's like, what in the heck is going on?
Yeah, exactly.
I have this really clearly Republican neighbor who's really being I have to give him a lot of credit. He's definitely being choice with his words and opinions because he knows the rest of us are not. So I've totally see him out of his comfort zone, and shout out to my neighbor John. You're trying, buddy. I hear you.
But he's also in the minority.
He's highly in the minority. So he's basically, so
he's doing the smart thing too.
He's doing the smart thing, right? But here's
respectful play, but also a smart play.
Sure. But we get down to the bare bones, right? Like there's a lot of talk about what California and liberal this and liberal that. And, I'm with him. I'm not a super fan of certain progressives, but whatever, what I'm saying? So we get to the hard nosed questions. When you leaving? You know what I mean? When you moving out?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I went to college in Wyoming. I'm never leaving California.
Oh, wow.
He's like, and I was like, yeah, thank you. All that talk, but you ain't going nowhere. So let's knock it off. You're not finna leave because you know that you ain't finna be outside in shorts on December 26th. So
that's fun.
Let's stop. You know what I'm saying?
Fun fact. I don't know if you knew this. My dad went to college in Wyoming.
Oh, really? Wow.
From Hawaii.
From Hawaii.
Yeah.
Talk about an adventure.
Talk about not a smart move.
Does he have any fond memories of it? Like, the first time I experienced the cold.
He enjoyed it. Yeah. I mean, he had this, he liked Westerns and stuff when he was a kid. So he had this romantic idea that, he's going to go ride horses or something as an undergraduate degree, I guess. I don't know exactly what his plan was.
No longer lives there.
He does tell me about the first time he went out and like, sounds like it was probably pretty cold though.
Yeah.
He's like, he thought he was going to die.
Yeah. My neighbor, before we get to the other side, my neighbor told the funniest story, which was basically he went to class. It was fine. Like everything was perfectly fine. It was a September morning. He said, all right, cool. I'm, put on some semi-warm clothes, some sweats, maybe a hoodie or whatever. And I'm gonna go to class. And his class was like in a basement area, right? He said he walks out of class 3-4 hours later after he goes to a couple classes in the basement. He said it's like everywhere snow. And he has on like slippers, you know what I'm saying? And like sweats. And he said he froze. Said his dorm was way across to the other side. So he said he froze in a way he's never frozen before.
He's from California?
He's from Central California and then Arizona. And yeah, so he said he had never frozen like that before. So yeah. All right. So we got a year end wrap up that we're going to attempt to do. I think I'm ready.
Celebrating the end of 2020.
Celebrating the end of 2020. Kev, are you ready, man?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. I am absolutely not, but we are on our way to the other side. Let's go, y'all. Let's move.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You were live on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Trek Life and your fam, Kev Dakota.
Baby New Year.
Baby New Year. I actually I don't even know where I'm looking with the camera. I should just be looking dead at the camera, but I'm not. But anyhow, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all rock with us the whole year. If you want to catch past episodes of Rap Sucks Radio, you can catch them on rapsucksradio.com. If you'd like to catch any of these episodes on your television, rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. If you want to catch this in audio, if you like to see this,
by the way,
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute. We're even on Pandora. We got an email confirming. We didn't even make a story of it. That's how good of people we are.
We didn't make it. Yeah.
We didn't make a deal of it. We were like, yeah.
Make a big deal. No.
We were like, whatever. That's where we're supposed to be.
It's behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're past it.
We're all in this together.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You can also catch us on television on BTSN Pass. That's Behind the Scenes Network. What you do right here is this. You go to your Roku, your Fire Stick, or your Fire TV. You download the app or channel, whatever they name it on said device. And you just click on it once it's downloaded. And we're right there, man. Rap Sucks Radio. We got our own section and everything. BTSN, Behind the Scenes Network. Rap Sucks Radio. Me and Kev just doing too much on your TV for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. All right, Kev, we got the year and wrap up. We're going to try to talk about some important things, 2020's biggest hits and misses, if you will. Yeah. I would probably say that we definitely are still going to have a doing too much. And this definitely would be the right thing to say doing too much. COVID-19, doing too much. This year probably was the main antagonist of 2020, if you will. We had the safer at home orders. We had everybody move to work from home. It started about March, end of February. March is when this all really jumped off. A lot of companies had to just, kind of wrap up things and figure out what they were going to do, from small businesses to much larger corporations. We had a president that acted like a total idiot during the entire process. A government that, wasn't entirely prepared, and who could be, but also didn't seem to want to get prepared as much as they. This is a whole thing. We had a whole thing going on, Kev. So I'm going to pass this over to you.
Oh, thanks.
What are your, we'll get the initial thoughts from you. What are your initial thoughts when you look back through the year and you think of that time, that early March when COVID became a thing, and we all had to kind of make this major life adjustment that we've never had to make before?
Yeah, it was, it's obviously devastating economically, health wise. We've lost pretty much everyone I know has lost at least somebody they know, in whether close or, distant acquaintance. So in that way, it's horrible,
Sure.
But I think when it started, everyone kind of treated it like summer camp or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And watching the Tiger King and all that stuff. And I'm proud to say I still have not watched that, so I think I cashed in my chip last night by wasting my time watching that Wonder Woman.
You watched Wonder Woman and broadcasted that you were about to watch it too.
Well, I had to. I mean, I literally, aside from About a Politician, I have not seen so many poop emojis used since
people
like
hate
2008.
God, man, people hate that Wonder Woman movie. Yo, I have never seen it. Yeah, people were really dogging it out.
I knew I was going in hate watching it. There were actually two people who really seemed to enjoy it.
Were there people who enjoyed
friends
it?
of the show?
Fizz said he enjoyed it, but it almost seemed like joking.
Fizz said he enjoyed it. Omega genuinely enjoyed it. He was the only person I was concerned that perhaps I would hurt his feelings, but he knows how I am. I was not going in to have an unbiased opinion. I was going in for the hot take. So I didn't watch Tiger King, so I banked a few extra wasteful hours.
We started the year. We started this COVID thing off with Tiger King, ended the year off with I don't know if I'd call it a bang with this Wonder Woman thing.
It's a stinker.
It is definitely not the movie that my wife and my mother-in-law were really excited to watch. Well, my mother-in-law mainly was really excited to watch it, and I haven't gotten her opinion, which I would get through my wife anyway. But I'm not sure of my wife's opinion of it either. I think it just kind of came and went. I just was like, this is happening. When the whole thing, I didn't, at some point I got lost in the plot. Like I couldn't figure out what happened. And then the Make-A-Wish Foundation made money off of it. Like it was just a really odd, I just couldn't figure out what was going on.
I watched Soul the day before, so I felt like,
I still got to watch it. Still got to watch it with the family.
I left the table even money there.
Yeah, well, yeah, you did. I've been told that I asked what the Kevin. Before I know we're all in the middle of this, but I do have a question, which should have been the opening question. Okay. Best Christmas movie of all times.
Oh. I'm not sure if I want to say then we get into the conversation, right?
Yes, Die Hard.
Trading Places.
Oh, Trading Places. You know what? That's a good question too. I would say
Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Trading Places is a Christmas movie as well. And if they are both Christmas movies, Trading Places still wins.
Okay.
But probably Christmas Story. Although I can't watch it anymore. I'm done.
All right. Friday After Next is my favorite. Is the best Christmas movie of all times in my opinion. But I didn't realize that Elf was so important to people. I asked this question on Twitch during a snapback stream or a holiday stream, and I didn't include Elf in the list. I included Christmas Story, Die Hard, Friday After Next for more of a personal opinion. and people went ballistic that Elf wasn't added. And I was like,
you're better than that.
Elf?
We watched Elf last year, I think.
I'd like every black person that listens to this show or watches it to check in with me and let me know whether you watched Elf. I'm going to say the percentages of black people that have watched Elf, the movie, are really, really low. Extremely low. It just doesn't seem like the target audience for Elf.
There's a racial component.
With this, I mean, you know, I won't say that the movie is particularly designed not for black people. I would just say
Perm in Elf.
I think he is.
He's on love. Yeah.
Didn't even make me want to watch it. I wasn't like, dang, I
didn't exactly put him on the damn billboard.
No.
Matter of fact, didn't they take him off of a billboard this year or some other movie?
Maybe so. I don't know what's happening to Faison, but I do know that I had no time to watch Elf. All right, back to the COVID thing. So
how are you going to make a black movie like Elf and not put me on the billboard?
I mean, you know what I mean? Ain't no black folk. All right. Well, at least they had a black elf. Maybe. Was he an elf? Who knows? Was Faison an elf in the movie? No. See, they ain't even had no black elves. Whatever. I don't want to watch it.
He was Santa's boss.
All right. Fine. I mean, what a makeup, though. Now you're going to make him Santa's boss all of a sudden. Like, come on, man. You know, it's reaching. It's an overarching reach
too much
for our attention. You're doing too much. Yeah. Come on. He didn't need to be Santa's boss.
It's privilege energy.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't have put him, you don't put him in like the reindeer stables, but you didn't have to make him the boss either. He just could have been one of the elves. Like, it would have been fine. Whatever. All right. You know, this is kind of, you know, big perm energy. So continuing on really quickly with COVID. Yeah, man, I mean, there's really not a lot to say. We don't really know how long this is going to last or how much more this is going to be. Like, it almost feels like it's possible that there could be another year like this. Like it doesn't seem super far fetched, especially with how Orange County is acting and the like. I don't know, man. It's a conundrum. Like it's a big situation.
LA County's not exactly winning any prizes either here.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We're kind of, sharding the bed, as it were.
Yeah, it's tough. Speaking of sharding the bed, you have information behind number one, but number two, 2020's biggest misses. You just have Trump. Like, we could go so many different directions if we prefer at this point. So,
season 4
of Trump, the season finale, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, at least in the office.
As of today, having a nice Sopranos type season finale, series finale, perhaps. They might try a reboot.
It strongly looks like it. Here's the thing. With all that he's done and said, he's had the attention of being president, which is definitely important, right? But he also has had a lid. He can't get rid of Twitter followers or block people because he's president. He's holding office. He's an official. So he has to accept freedom of speech. Once he becomes a citizen again, I find him a little more dangerous. There's no lid. There's no, nothing to protect us from his madness and his fans. He gets to go as far in as he wants and reveal as much nonsense as he feels like he knows. It's a little worrisome to have him as a citizen after he's held the office so poorly for 4 years. So
I think you make a solid point. I certainly have no direct counter argument to that, but I think maybe I'm hoping, but I feel pretty strongly that he's not going to get. He's probably going to get crazier, but I think it's going to amount to him like making an all 808 album and starting a church. I don't think the trajectory is going to continue to skyrocket up.
An all 808 album is starting a church. And then not paying his band members, if that's actually really true. No,
By the way, when he becomes, a citizen again, has Twitter said whether or not they will actually kick him off for all the things he didn't get kicked off? Because he's going to continue saying the same type of stuff on Twitter.
I think he's gotten himself. This is one of the reasons why I think he's going to be more dangerous. He's gotten himself a pass, like a pretty strong pass. You know what I mean? By being president. So how you treat a former president is, I would say, pretty important for global optics. You know, this isn't one of those things where you can just sort of kill dude in the streets. I mean, I'm not suggesting it, by the way, but we're not that type of country. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to give this dude a pass. I feel like he's going to get more passes than anybody else, period.
But I mean, if he says stuff like Eric is a good boy, clearly that's a lie. You can't let that run. Come on.
He's going to get a pass. He's going to get a pass, and he's going to say a lot of nonsense. This year, he stumbled, fell, and yelled through the presidency as best as he could, only to fall flat on his face in expected fashion, if you will, by many people. A lot of us were nervous that it wouldn't happen. Ultimately, Joe Biden is now will soon to be the next president of the United States, president number 46. There's still some fight going on there. How long does this last?
Pence might still slide in there for a few days.
Oh,
I was president for 5 days.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. They're going to make it as much of a mess as possible. You threw Kanye's name out there, so we'll jump to Kanye.
Yeah.
For a little bit of a half a bar on Kanye. He pretty much went quiet after calling Trump his dad. Was that this year that he did that? That was early on, though, right?
Was that this year? Might have been.
I feel like that was yeah, that might have been.
Can you believe impeachment was this year? 3 decades ago.
3 decades ago. So much has gone on in this year. Yeah, but Kanye was probably the least this year, unless I'm jumbling years together and making his nonsense a lot older than it was. Like I don't remember a lot of Kanye this year.
He ran for president.
This is what I'm talking about. See, I just completely forgot about that. It just totally slipped my mind that he ran for president. Like, I was totally gone. I had been done with Kanye, and I had totally forgot, like literally forgot that he ran for president. That is insane. And vice president in some states. Yeah,
right, exactly.
I mean, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was one of the less unusual Kanye moments, which, if that makes any sense, right? It wasn't like,
he's done more wild stuff.
Yeah, he's been a little wilder than that. So you just kind of like, all right, well, you go ahead, man.
Old Kanye.
Yeah, old Kanye energy, right? For real. It's crazy that I forgot he ran for president.
I think he forgot halfway through.
Oh my, I mean, we all did. We were like, yo, is Kanye? Kanye was popping up on the ballot and people were sending like pictures of it. Like, wait a minute. Is he on your ballot? It's like, no. Is he on yours? No.
And he tried to lightweight blame, which I didn't even know. He tried to lightweight blame his lack of success in the campaign to, getting COVID. So I'm like, you do realize what you did right at the start of when you started running for president. You cried at a bunch of people and they cried right back at you. I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, I'm glad he's all right. Unlike Herman Cain. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
I think for the rest of his life, we should just call him Yay.
You know what? I'm skipping. But this is an interesting one.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I just want to get this out of the way. Tekashi 6ix9ine, just no, right? For the whole year, no. Why not? Why not just an absolute no in conversation, period, point blank?
Yeah, we're still waiting for the other foot to drop on that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, well, the foot was dropped on him. Did he get beat up?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I thought he got beat up this year, ran up on or whatever.
He put out an album that no one really checked out. He made a lot of noise from Witness Protection, putting out an album that no one cared about.
I mean, snitches, man. What?
You try to be a little tiny poop emoji and a big poop emoji of a year.
Listen,
no one's really going to pay attention to you.
Here's the thing about snitching. Like, people say everything is snitching. And I did not grow up in a hard and harsh environment, but I did have enough close friends and family members in that world to be like, what many of y'all call snitching is just like, it has nothing to do with no crimes or commit. Y'all are just calling everything snitching. You know what I'm saying? What he did was actually snitching. This was for real. Like, now you guys can show up and start saying stuff. You know what I mean? Like, all the stuff you guys were on before, I couldn't figure out where y'all were at. But this was actually snitching. You can actually arrive at a, conclusion. And there were people that were defending him. And I wasn't, and if we go back in the show, I do remember saying, I don't know how you threaten to kill my family and then want loyalty from me. You know what I mean? But I also know that I put myself, if I'm in his position, I put myself in that life. So
yeah.
So whatever, just be done with it. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm good with how this is all turning out.
Yeah. Nobody paid attention to the record, which is very important. We had, we'll do one less serious one before we get into the more serious ones. This isn't super less serious, but it's less serious enough. Goodbye, Barbecue Becky. You were so 2019. And hello to Karen. The Karens took over the Beckys this year. I thought the Karens were astounding this year. I thought they did an excellent job this year of making sure that we were well entertained, but also mortified and educated on supremacy and evil. So I give the Karens a 10. I gave the Beckys like a 7 or 8. They were sort of fumbling around, calling on barbecues and
phoning it in.
Yeah, that's why you're the entertainer on this show. You know that, Kev? You're the leader of this.
The entertainer of me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I give Becky's a 7 or 8, but I think I give Karen's a 10. I think Karen's went all in. They put all their cards on the table and,
they most definitely strapped it on and came to play. You know what I'm saying?
They got their own haircut and they came in with their own style.
Oh,
there was a point where they were calling each other Karens.
And in a COVID year.
To garner so much attention. That's big, man.
Yeah.
It's a strong showing. That was good.
They left it all in the field, and you know what? For that,
yeah, they get the perennial doing too much.
Yeah,
from Rap Sucks Radio.
Still a thing, by the way?
I haven't heard very much. I did see one article that mentioned a Karen recently, actually probably as recently as yesterday, but I didn't feel compelled to click on it and read it. It was just like, they're old news. We know they're out there. They're gonna have to pick another new name next year. Yeah. Like Agnes or something. They're getting progressively older, right? Like it was, the Beckys were the kind of 25 to maybe 35 range. The Karens are in this kind of 35 to maybe 45, 50 range. So we're going to have to get older, like Agnes or Beatrice. Shout out to rest in peace to my grandmother, by the way.
I was going to say, I was about to say 3 or 4 names, but I realized that as soon as I said any of those names, Why are you making it hot?
Yeah, it was funny. Since you insulted Traumatics last episode, thank you for insulting our listeners and friends.
Let me tell you something. Watching Wonder Woman last night, I cried my eyes out. And I love how you say I insulted him. He had nothing to do with this.
He was one of the people.
He was experiencing a tender moment. I did not realize that. He knows that I'm a jerk.
Insulted him and Abloon.
Now I feel bad.
You know what? But it's funny because Abloon didn't respond to it. So Abloon
he's definitely
dodged the shade. He only dodged the shade entirely. Oh man. But what I was getting at was
definitely leaned into it.
Yeah, he did. What I was getting at concerning Traumatics was it's very funny. I want them to change the name so he can get the same energy and fun out of the Karen phase that we got because he couldn't get the same energy out of it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'd like them to change the name just so Traumatics can play with the rest of us and come outside and hang out with his friends. Oh boy.
He's just catching. He just got the 2-piece.
That wasn't even like that. That's my man. So I haven't really ever, and I think I did this last episode. We talked about this. I don't know. Is it QAnon or QAnon?
QAnon.
All right.
Wait, real quick. Hold on. Before we jump to that, though, you did not respond to me because you know I'm halfway through the season, so I have 4 more episodes until I cry. But the egg eating episode. How did Baby Yoda eating the eggs become the headline of that episode?
As opposed to
spiders?
Well, the spiders, you heard my opinion on the Baby Yoda eating eggs thing. If we go back to that episode, I was like, you guys made this up. People were not tripping. This is the thing about 2020 that pissed me off because it happened more this year.
This is the cutest, as far as I'm concerned, for my money, the cutest little murderer on television right now.
How can he murder?
Move aside, Dexter.
First of all, like 17 people complained on Twitter. Like, come on, man, we're making this up. Like, it's crazy. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's like I have this homeboy or whatever. And I try to respect people's opinions. Just because I disagree with them doesn't mean that, he's an enemy or yeah, that's true. Could not be wrong, but he's wrong in this case. But he's an enemy or antagonist or whatever. And I think a lot of times that's really the big social media thing, right? Like if you disagree with somebody, then all of a sudden you're like this. There's this thing where they're now walking through life as this person who's alone in a world of disagreement. Like, no, dude, I just disagree with your opinion on Facebook. That's all. That's it. Like, I still think that you're a nice person. I like your beats, or whatever music you do. I just don't agree with Baby Yoda eating eggs being a major deal. I think there was like you responding to the 4 people that complained about it and then getting, finding a way to make it a thing. But on the Star Wars tip, I can't remember the actress's name, but the one of the actresses has had some probably more right-wing opinions, and people have responded in a way that they generally respond. Again, it hasn't been a ton of people. And the conversation of freedom of speech comes up, which always pisses me off because I'm like, God, you guys have to be smart enough to have read what freedom of speech is. Like, I still don't get why you guys are still having this argument. You know what I'm saying?
It's in the name.
But again, it's about speaking out against the government. You don't have the freedom to walk up and call somebody fat in a Target. If you get punched in your face and slammed into the meat aisle and your face shoved into the ice cream, they're not going to take that person to jail for infringing upon your freedom of speech. That would be assault.
No, because by the time the cops get there, they would have already eaten all the ice cream. No evidence.
Okay, let me get to my
Allegedly.
point. Allegedly. Let me get to my point. My point here is his story, and this was the thing this year. I had all these people talking about cancel culture and how stop canceling people. And I keep arguing with you guys that no one has been canceled unless it's been criminal. You know what I mean? Even the dude that wouldn't, even the years, a couple years back or a year back, the person that wouldn't bake the cake for the gay couple. No, he wasn't canceled. Shop's still open, fam. I mean, maybe not now due to COVID, but it wasn't due to that issue. Didn't close down. So I invite you all. I'm going to do this on this episode because there was this whole thing about this, you know, that actress being canceled, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. So I'm not going to say, you know, whether she's still on the show or not for whatever reason. But my point is, she did that at like the end of season 1. If you are on near the end of season 2, she's still on the damn show. So, you know what I'm saying? But the other thing is, I invite you all to look up to what happened to Nina Simone. I just want you all to look up, you know, Earth Kit, Nina Simone. Look up people who spoke up and had to take their careers all the way across to the other side of the world in order to make a living because they were really actually canceled in the United States. Getting somebody to say mean things on you about you on Twitter and ask Disney to remove you, which is something that people do for every damn listen, Disney has a problem putting penises on cartoon advertisements. There's no big worry about what a right-wing person's going to say. Like, just let's stop now. Everybody just chill out. Sit down. Have a Coke and a smile after that. See? Not canceled. Coke and smile. There you go. I don't know what to say anymore, Kev. That's my rant. I'm done. I'm off the show.
Jello pudding pops.
You can still buy them in the store.
Can you?
Oh, I'm assuming. All right. Anyway, QAnon, whatever they are. So this trash has happened, but it has produced a congresswoman.
Oh, yeah.
So now we got to deal with that for another whatever years.
Yeah, she was up there in the COVID house last week.
Yep. This is a right-wing AOC in many people's opinions. Not even close.
Is that the comparison?
Yeah, it's like that's like a right-wing AOC. Like, she's telling it like it is, and we all gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I love the comparisons are always great.
Yeah, they are.
You know, like how Sean Hannity is the right-wing Rachel Maddow. Maddow.
As we keep rolling through 2020's greatest misses, the biggest thing this year outside of COVID was definitely the Black Lives Matter protest, police protesting police brutality. There were just, you know, protests rang out across the nation in a time where we were all supposed to be inside. Mm-hmm. Due to the police just continuing on the same brutality they've continued on for, you know, a century at this point, but more in the limelight over recent years, due to kind of internet information, etc. A lot was produced from this. I you know, looking at George Floyd, prior to that, Avery, and just thinking like of the fallout. The Kyle Rittenhouse fallout that came from this. There was a lot that took place with the nation sort of coming together to say, you know, enough is enough, at least in some cases. It sparked a lot of arguments, a lot of different conversations, probably a lot of lost friendships. Not on my side. I don't know how many of you from my neighborhood in high school didn't know that your high school peers were racist. I kind of knew that in like 9th grade. You guys are all just figuring this out. I'm like, oh, I don't follow, you know, Billy Bob no more. I'm like, Billy Bob was racist in 6th grade. What are you doing now? You don't remember how he kept adding the ER to NWA and laughing about it? Stop already. Anyway, Kev, I've been talking too much. Black Lives Matter, protest.
You're doing great.
Continue. Go ahead. It's on you.
I mean, COVID eventually will stop killing people. But you know what will not stop killing people? the police.
The refusal to stop
that's pretty sad. Yeah.
It is. It's like a refuse. There was like a refusal on a lot of ends to even acknowledge the issue, which is the reason why this is continuing to come up. We keep doing this thing where we're throwing around random statistics to pretend like this problem isn't really a problem. And it continues to be a problem. And it's the mentality of the police department. It's the mentality of, white supremacy in the United States and the upholders of it that is leading to this. And until that is recognized, these problems are not going to end.
Yeah. You know what you didn't hear when people started dying of COVID this year? One of the early things we heard, and there were a number of different theories about why some were well-founded than others, was that brown and black people were dying at higher rates, or there was a higher rate of COVID cases and resulting deaths as a result of coronavirus that were attributed to, many times it seems the best explanation was the jobs that, were predominantly first responders and, essential workers being at risk for something that we didn't really altogether understand, especially at that point. What you didn't hear any idiot, even people who I think are complete clowns and goofballs, I did not hear them say something that they still say about the issue we're actually discussing right this second, which they did not say, well, more white people were killed by COVID. Because that would be dumb.
Right. It would be dumb. Shout out to my natives, who also are at the highest murder rate for police brutality. I saw an attempt, using the logic that you said that many are presenting, at trying to use that to divide us. And I'm very proud that didn't work, and that we all still stuck to the point, like, no, it still has to stop, regardless. So yeah, this is a really dumb situation, but we spent a fair amount of time here on WrapUp Sucks Radio, especially after the brutality issues presented themselves, and ad nauseum. I feel uncomfortable knowing that I'm confident that next year there'll be an episode under the same pretense.
Yep.
So
we feel uncomfortable, and so should you.
So should you. Last thing before we get out of here, which is going to be really interesting, music this year. We actually discussed a lot of things. We discussed DMCA. We discussed, artists. You argued against me, an actual rapper, about why rappers make various decisions that they make after Kanye West. Shout out another Kanye moment I forgot.
How to hold the mic on stage?
You hold the mic by the crown, covering the crown so that your voice is completely muffled and no one in the crowd can hear you. And then you get mad when your call and response doesn't work.
That's we actually do agree then.
Okay. Yeah, we agree. That's what you're supposed to do. Anyway, after Kanye's deal was exposed by himself, something I actually was kind of appreciative that he did, but whatever. We had a conversation.
He didn't get Taylor her catalog back, did he?
Did not get Taylor her catalog back. And yeah, that's a whole other thing too. Spotify is still paying people 4 cents a year. And I can't think of too many full albums I listened to this year. Kev, did you listen to any?
I listened to a few, but
okay.
But not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not like, there was a time where, I would listen to an album more than once.
Yeah.
I wouldn't skip tracks. And it has nothing to do with the music either. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I tried to listen to the Busta record. The high points were super high. The low points weren't crash and burn low. They just were not extremely interesting to me. I am 44 years old though. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that an artist has to do now to get my attention for a whole record. I got other stuff going on. My kids are yelling at me. I'm editing podcasts and websites, and I'm working. with coworkers that don't seem to want to work all the time. So, don't call me your normal audience.
You listen to other music than rap?
I did. Well, the one record I did listen to recently, a couple artists that I picked up on. So John Reyes, a producer out of the Bay Area who does quite a few remixes. If you check him out on Bandcamp, I picked up on his music this year. I listened to the Shabam Shafiq record. I might have really messed that name up, but anyway, whatever, you'll find it. And I listened to the Sons of the James record, which is dope. Kev, you gotta listen to that record. It's a R&B soloist. I guess he's a soloist. Maybe it's a band, but the dude has a voice that is right in between D'Angelo and
D'Angelo.
It's funny because the Lakers are playing Minnesota and D'Angelo Russell is playing. So I was thinking, am I saying that artist name wrong or right? D'Angelo, the singer, and James Brown. It's right in between there, and the records are really good, man. Really good.
Sons of the James. All right.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, those are records, but I'm going to throw this out, then I'm passing it right back to you.
Okay.
I talked a lot of trash, but I did actually like that Common record.
Oh, you talk trash about the record?
I've been talking a lot of trash about Common in general, but I do like the Common record. I do like it. It is a pretty good listen.
Common throws punches, shadow boxes at every photographer that tries to take his picture. So
watch your
step.
You gotta be really careful. He's been working on that punch quite a bit.
He does it while he's smiling.
Yes. He has a full 35-minute video, which I think is the length of the album. Maybe it's a part 1 and part 2, but either way, where they're performing the record. And then of course with B-roll shots of them, talking in between sets and things of that nature, or maybe during setup. It actually made me like the record a little more.
Yeah, I haven't checked it yet. I mean, I listened to the first couple songs, but I wanted to sit down and listen to it. I also realized I was going through some photos the other day, some old photos from a few years ago. I realized the last time I saw him live, he brought Brand Nubian on stage, and I think it was all three of them, and they did All for One, all together stuff. So last time I saw he was dope. He was dope, yeah. and it was a dope experience. But yeah, I don't know. I Benny the Butcher.
Okay,
got shout that out. Shout out Hit Boy.
All right, Hit Boy. That Hit Boy had a year. Shout out to Jan Sport J.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he had a year this year. It was nice. Good for him.
Who else? Snow Allegra. Dope R&B singer. Pretty dope.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And it's funny because this is definitely one thing Old Head Energy is that it used to be where there would be one or two artists who I was like, I wouldn't really know how to pronounce their names.
Mm-hmm.
But only a couple, right? And more than often than not, as a DJ, someone would come up and make a request, which is already annoying. And then they would say the name wrong. Mm-hmm. And I just pretend I didn't know what they were talking about because they didn't know how to pronounce that artist's name. Now I do not know how to pronounce about 70 to 75% of the artists who are out that just came out.
Well, I just pronounced Shafiq Hussein's name, Shabam Sadiq. So there's that.
I was wondering because that's Shafiq is from, whatchamacallit? Oh, dude. The production crew. Taz.
Oh,
Shafiq.
Yeah, it was, yeah. God, dude, now it's but yeah. Yes, that's the Shafiq. Yes. Getting old. Also, speaking of production crews, Dinner Party. Dinner Party is the name of a production crew. It's Terrace Martin, Ninth Wonder, Robert Glasper, oh my God, really please forgive me for forgetting the last name, but that record is dope as well.
Oh, they put it out?
The Dinner Party record is out. There's the Dinner Party, and then there's like the record Dinner Party. I think it's a self-titled record. Then there's Dessert with some kind of remixes or whatever on it. It's dope. Really dope.
And I think some of the guys who check out the podcast have recommended a few things who are dope as well. So there's some stuff out there.
There's some stuff out there.
Little
Not a
R&B,
lot of it
hip-hop.
was rap for me though. Not a lot of it
Yeah.
was hip hop for me. I wasn't super into it, and that's kind of unfair. Oh, I'm tripping. Theory Has It had an excellent year this year. Theory Has It was really dope this year. Duke Westlake dropped quite a bit of heat this year as well. I did shout out Jansport J. Triune dropped his new record this year, so shout out to him. All of those artists, I checked out all of their projects and they all had excellent. So if you guys would like, you guys should go back and check out those artists because they all had excellent projects this year.
Word.
So yeah, that was a pretty good music review. I thought we were going to have nobody.
Yeah,
So Sarah is the name of the group that we're talking
Sarah
about.
Music Collective.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Man.
And his name
Did you
is
watch
not
Too Short and
Shabam.
E40 last week?
I didn't.
I made sure that I had it so that I could watch it later. So, but I want to be able
Okay.
to sit down and really soak it in. But
Yeah,
you
I
know what it
didn't.
is.
I didn't. Where we would be remiss if we didn't spend at least a few minutes on verses.
Mm-hmm.
Was that? Would you consider that a highlight this year?
I think so. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
D Nice also, doing what he did and kind of, I don't think he, he set it off. He set the tone for what became a season, a whole year of people finding new ways to DJ and entertain and create and be creative and have an outlet that was not just yelling at Trump online or, or yelling at AOC online or whatever. So it was, yeah.
I thought creativity, this was a big win for creators.
Mhm.
And please understand that I'm saying that in the most, I guess the word I'm trying to use is like in the least jerkish way I could possibly say something, because there was a lot of death and despair this year. So, but as far as, those that wanted to be creative, DJs, artists, visual artists, etc. This year, many people had a lot of time on their hands to be more creative. And I thought that the result, at least if you were a person who goes on Twitch or Instagram or Mixcloud or any of those places and really looks for artistry, I thought that this was a good year for creatives. I really thought that a lot of people stepped their game up. I still think DJs should play more new music, but I also think that a lot of DJs are becoming, this is really funny because we'll see how 2021 goes. I think a lot of DJs are becoming such big personalities that what they're playing doesn't matter anymore. And I'm interested to see how that folds over into 2021. If you're kind of just playing an upbeat style of music and you're being entertaining and engaging, I think you can just kind of get away with just playing records. You know what I'm saying? And people are just going to be there. I'm not sure people are really there for the music, to a certain percentage as much as they were before. So
It would also be dope if some of the or not creativity, but not that it's not creativity, but the variation, styles of music and genres, and not just being a dance floor geared kind of effort translates back into some of the, maybe not that super, EDM-ish strobe light nightclubs, but like some of the places where you started to hear dance music where you really didn't need it.
yeah.
We can start having a variety of places we can go and hear music that's not, 187 beats per minute.
You're not trying to be.
By the way, we got to shout out Boom Bap Kids.
Boom Bap Kids, excellent. Well, yeah, we got a couple people we can shout out, but Boom Bap
they won an award, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, deservingly so, actually. That is they did. You want to talk about creatives? That was dope. That was dope. Also, shout out to Snapback, of course. Shout out to Snapback. Shout out to HMC. A lot of crews. Not H&M. No shout out to H&M. Get your Trek Life hoodies from TrekLife.LA though. And there was one, and we shout out to the Beat Junkies. The Beat Junkies made their transfer over to online, and I think that what they're doing is dope. But yes, a big shout out to Boom Bap Kids. Big shout out to Boom Bap Kids. I thought they did excellent, man. It was excellent. That was heavy work. That was dope. So, word. I think we're gonna wrap here, man.
And shout out to you, the customer.
Yes. Most important to you. Most important. Yo, Kev, it's been an excellent year, man. I gotta thank you personally because we've done this show. I think to an extreme quality level, mainly because you keep forcing me to do more work than I prefer to do. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys for sticking with us this year. Once again, if you would like to catch past episodes of Rap Sucks Radio, you can go to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms, including Pandora now. Thank you, finally. And if you like to catch us on TV. And if you like to catch us on TV, you can catch us on.
Should we let it out of the bag how this really went down? I'll let you. I'll remind you where I cut you off.
Okay,
the
go ahead.
way we got on Pandora was that I have a very dear friend who works with Pandora. I reached out to him and cursed at him. I said, "What?" No, I asked him, what's the story? He's like, "Dude, here's the link. Go get yourself on Pandora." And so that's what we did.
Whole time it was our fault. So yeah, whatever. All right. Well, thanks for that.
And if you want to catch us on TV,
thank you. You can catch us on BTS Impasse. That's Behind the Scenes Network. What you do is you go to your Roku, your Fire Stick, or your Fire TV. You download the app or channel as it's named on either platform, and click on it. Me and Kev are there, right there, just chilling.
Yep. Shout out to the whole family there, Badru, Rob.
Yep. Shout out to the squad. They build it. Omar, they got the whole building going on over there. It's going down. They're growing, man. Billboards this year.
Are we gonna still do it from our houses?
Yes.
I'm good with this.
This is super convenient. Yeah. Outside of not being able to spill beer in the back room of your house, there's really nowhere,
That's never gonna happen again.
Yeah. It sucks that I can't do that anymore. Near the power plug for a bit good measure. Thank you guys, man. I am your homeboy Trek Life. That is your fam, Kev Sakota.
Yes.
And on the count of 3, we say peace. 1, 2, 3, Kev. 3. Peace.
Happy New Year.
Y'all. Happy New Year, y'all.